Good morning, middle school, and welcome to our Tuesday Middle School Chapel. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, middle school students, our much-awaited spring break is almost here. So this is a short week, and our spring break begins on Friday, March 26th, and school reopens after spring break on Tuesday, April 6th. But the day before we break for spring break, on March 25th, Thursday, we will have our middle school day of service. During the first half of the day, the entire middle school will be engaged in different activities of service learning. And then after lunch, we will have our annual, we'll skip a year, but what we hope would be an annual Montgomery School Math Bowl. For those of you who do not know what Math Bowl is, it's a fun, exciting, engaging, interactive math competition. It's like a game show, and it's a lot of fun, trust me. And then Thursday is also a dress-down day to celebrate the arrival of spring. So hope you're all excited about the spring break and the week ahead. And it's just great to be at this place. And you've all done such a wonderful job, and you all earned your spring break. And now I'm very pleased to introduce to you our 8th grade chapel speaker, Jonathan Odike. Jonathan came to Montgomery School in 4th grade. His teachers describe him as a leader, someone who commands the respect of his peers, and a true gentleman. He's a focused student, but he also has a very good sense of humor. He's a strong math student, and I can attest to that. He has an excellent work ethic and sets a very high classroom standard. Jonathan also has a passion that many of you share, and I know he is excited to talk to you about that passion. So this morning, please join me in welcoming Jonathan Odike to present his chapel.
Thank you, Mr. Raj, for that warm introduction. Hello, Montgomery students, parents, and faculty. My name is Jonathan Odike, and those of you who know me know that I have spent an embarrassing amount of time and money on gaming. I have been playing video games since I was 9, and I love playing them. If your parents are anything like mine, they think that gaming is an elaborate waste of time in which you spend hours only to gain the pride of reaching an in-game achievement. Actually, many lessons can be learned from gaming, and that is what I'm here to talk about. As I said before, I'm an avid gamer and I play them a lot. While I have played many games, the main games I will be talking about are Rocket League and Valorant. I have accumulated over 450 hours in Valorant, and Rocket League is the new game I play, and I play Rocket League a lot. Rocket League is just like soccer with cars, but besides using cars, there are other aspects that make it different from normal soccer, such as the ability to fly. Also in Rocket League, you can design your own car, which allows you to personalize it and enjoy the game even more. My many hours in these games have taught me many things, so I'm going to share with you the 5 most important lessons I've learned from gaming. The 5 lessons I've learned from gaming are teamwork, communication, adaptability, how to manage money wisely, and how to identify and improve weaknesses. My first lesson is teamwork. Teamwork is a very important skill to have because you'll use it in just about any job and any game. In Rocket League, teamwork is very important. No one likes a ball hog who thinks they're the best because most of the time they just end up taking the ball up the field by themselves, losing it, and forcing their teammates into a 2 versus 3 situation. Don't get me wrong, watching one person outplay 3 others is very impressive, but it has a low chance of success. The goal of the game is to score the most goals, and solo plays are very ineffective and often cause you to let in a goal. A simple pass to your teammate who is waiting in front of the goal will be much more effective because it has a higher chance of working, as there are now two of you instead of one. Even better, a triple passing play can almost guarantee a goal because it will be a 3-on-3, but most of the time it will be a 3-on-2. You have teammates for a reason, so to not use them wouldn't make sense. A team of 3 decent players with teamwork will beat a team of 3 great players without it. While teamwork is very important in Rocket League, it is also important in real life. You will always need teamwork, whether it is working for a group project or a job. Without teamwork, you will not get the grade you were hoping for or the promotion you wanted because you cannot do group work without working with your group. Teamwork is an essential part of life and a skill that you will always need. My next lesson is communication. Communication and teamwork go hand in hand because without communication, teamwork is impossible. Your teammates can't read your mind, so if you want them to do something, you have to be able to effectively communicate. In Rocket League, communication is very important. Unless you have good game sense and can predict your teammates' every move, then without communication, you won't be able to win games. If you don't communicate, you and your teammates might all go for the ball, and if the enemies hit it around you guys, it's an easy goal. Just like teamwork, communication is very important in the real world. It doesn't matter what you are doing in life, you will always have to talk to someone, whether that's your job interviewer, your boss, or even the drive-thru worker. Miscommunication can lead to many bad things, like not getting the job you wanted, you getting fired, or even just getting the wrong order at McDonald's. The point is that all of these things could have been avoided if you had been able to communicate effectively. My third lesson is adaptability. Adaptability is defined as the quality of being able to adjust to new conditions. Adaptability is very important in Rocket League because, like everything else in life, everyone plays it differently. Now, while many players have similar play styles, there are minor differences that make them all different. Because of this, you can't just practice playing against someone who is really passive, because when you get an aggressive opponent, you won't know what to do. The problem is that you can't practice for every play style of every player, and that is where adaptability comes in. Being able to adapt to a situation will allow you to win many games because you will be able to do well against any opponent. For example, if you notice that your opponent is immediately rushing you every time you get the ball, the next time take it slow and hit it around them. Or if you notice that your opponent is waiting in the goal for you to dribble up, the next time take a shot from far away that they won't be expecting. Adaptability is a very important skill to have. It can be the deciding factor of whether or not you win a game. You might be very good at the game, but if you don't know how to adapt, you will often find yourself unable to beat the opponents with different play styles. Adaptability can also be applied to real life. In the real world, most of the time, what you wanted won't happen as expected. This is exactly what happened with COVID. No one was expecting it, and we were all forced to adapt to remote learning, as well as wearing masks and having to stay 6 feet away from our friends. That's just life, and you have to be able to adapt to the situation and make the best out of it. For this next lesson, I will use a different game, Valorant. One of the lessons Valorant has taught me was how to save and spend money wisely. In Valorant, there's an economic system, which means that you have to buy your gear and abilities. You get money based on whether or not your team wins the round and how well you do. The economic system brings a whole new element of strategy to the game. You always have to be paying attention to how much money you have and how good are the opponents. If you do that, you will be able to decide the cheapest materials that will still allow you to win. For example, if you are on a losing streak and forced to buy mediocre gear, it might be better to save so next round you can get really good gear. You also can see how much money your teammates have, so you have to be aware of that as well. If you have enough money to buy really expensive gear, but your teammates can only afford bad gear, you should buy it to them because having good gear will help the whole team. This lesson relates to life a lot because to do almost anything in life, you need money, so having the ability to spend it wisely is very important. A lot of times in life, you might have enough money to buy something, but that doesn't mean you should. Just because you have $3,000 doesn't mean you should buy a $2,000 computer that you don't need. Instead, see where the cheapest computer that fits your need is and save the rest. It is not good to be greedy, so if you have a lot of money, you should donate some of it to those in need. Learning this skill in Valorant has helped me in my own life. It has taught me to only buy what I need and save the rest. This skill has allowed me to make many upgrades to my gaming setup, and has allowed me to save money for when I need it. The last lesson I have also comes from Valorant, and it is how to identify and improve weaknesses. As I said before, I used to be obsessed with Valorant over the summer. It was all I did in my free time, it was all I talked about, and it was all I dreamed about. And because of this, I got pretty good at it. I had very good aim, and I knew how to use the agent's abilities very well. However, I often found myself losing. At first, I didn't know why, because I'd been putting in the work, and it felt like it had been paying off in training. I decided that for 2 weeks, I was going to record myself playing, and then watch back the recording when I was done. And then I would take notes on what I saw I was doing wrong. These games weren't short 5 to 10 minute games, they were around 45 to an hour long games. And I would watch them all the way through without skipping anything. I spent as much time playing the game as I did watching my gameplay, but I didn't care. All I wanted to do was improve. So after the 2 weeks, I looked at all my notes, and I realized that most of the time, I would lose to players who were hiding in places on the map that I didn't know existed. I couldn't see them, so that meant my aim practice didn't mean anything. After I identified my weakness, I focused on improving it. I spent literal hours a day just going through the maps and finding any spot that I could, and then figuring out how to counter it. After about a week of doing that, I noticed that I improved a lot and I was winning many more games. Identifying and improving weaknesses is a very important skill to have. If you can't identify your weaknesses, then you cannot improve upon them, and if you cannot improve upon your weaknesses, then you cannot grow as a person. One weakness that I identified in my life was procrastination. So to improve, I wrote myself a schedule of what to do every day, and I found myself being much more productive. If you can effectively identify and improve upon your weaknesses, then you'll be able to become a much better person. Gaming isn't the only way to learn these lessons. You may have learned them from sports, school, or even other people. I encourage you to think about what lessons can be learned from your hobby. It may be playing basketball, playing guitar, or even reading. No matter what you do, there are lessons to be learned. Thank you and have a great day.